Hello everyone, Darren here, and welcome back to Anno 1800. Now in the last episode, we've been building toward a fully satisfied investor. And so far, we've delivered on pretty much all of their needs and their happiness, but we still have some work to do on the lifestyle. In fact, we have complete work to do on the lifestyle. I don't think I've satisfied any of those. Now, of course, by satisfying these demands, we're also satisfying the demands of other population tiers as well that share these resources. So while progress is a little bit slow here with the investors, we are inadvertently growing other populations and stabilizing everything in the process. So today, the work continues on delivering every good to every tier in every category. So let's begin. Now, we've got a massive problem right in front of me. Other than the fact that we're bleeding money again, we're heavily lacking our worker workforce and our artisan workforce. This number's become a bit too big to ignore any longer, so let's figure it out. So effectively what's happened is, of course, with our war with Arthur several episodes ago, a lot of my trade lines, my traditional trade routes got disrupted, and I just haven't put any ships back on them. So I would imagine we're producing pretty much whatever these guys need, we're just not delivering it. So let's just try to set that one up really quickly. So we'll have a look here first at the artisans. We're missing bread, soap, canned food, and fur coats. Let's start with something like fur coats, because I do think I actually make quite a lot of that. So we'll go fur coats. All islands. We're producing 41, but we're consuming 44. Now, this is stalled, I believe, because it's just not been sent anywhere. But I do think they have the ingredients. So to make fur coats, we actually use wool, which we have plenty of, at least globally, and then also furs, weirdly enough. So we're short on this, right? We're 39 under 53, 40 under 53. There might be some small bits coming up here or there from festivals or something like that, I don't know. But we'll have to fix that. But in the meantime, just before we do, let's get the trade route operational. So we've got tons of just vacant ships here. This is where my fur industry resides. And we're currently using the costume designer. So we're substituting the workforce, they're using workers, and instead of cotton fabric, they're processing wool, as we mentioned. We're using the Hopdale loom, boosting cloth industry by 40%. And then Ferris Al Sarami boosting it by 50%. We've also got room to expand, should we wish to add in a few more of these buildings. Which I think I might do. We should have the room to build more fur, no problem, and of course we are a little low. So what do we have here? This is making windows. And Ferris is boosting them. Well, Ferris doesn't need to be boosting these. Let's just move these for the moment. What is this doing? Sausages. Is there just one on the island? That's a bit strange, isn't it? There's 3. Oh, they're there. Oh, I was trying to get them in the circle. Again, that's another thing we'll just sort out when we get to it, I guess. But I'll just leave it over this way. They only take workers to work them. So I'll just even put down another one. I know we don't have any workers right now, but we'll fix it all. Don't worry. Alright, so with that in mind, now we've got some space here. I'll move this. These two actually fit in quite nicely here. Maybe we could just copy this one over now. And could we go like that? We could if we just cut the road, which I'm happy to do, as it is partially a building site. So just one in there. 200 artisans are required normally, but now it's 130 workers thanks to our items. So that should be enough to handle globally fur coats. Surprisingly not. That's 39 under 44. Wow, really? Okay. Let's try a couple more. That's 44. That's the number we need, but we'll probably need a little bit more then. Just a tiny bit more. So that'll be out of the zone. Alright, so we're going to have to... Unfortunately, I'd really like these little building sites I built, but... Oh, you know what? Got an idea. We can stamp it. Because I ever want to build it again. How do I make a new one? Oh yeah, the stamp tool. There we go. So we'll just stamp this and say, there you go. We'll make that in the future somewhere else, possibly, or we'll save it as something that I did once. So we'll call this large building site. Alright, cool. So that could just be used in future on other islands, or, you know, if I wanted to share it or just remember it as something I've done. It's the same with this sort of railway station area. Spent a lot of time doing it. I can still vividly remember the amount of, the amount of time basically I put into it. And I was listening to a podcast at the time, and then we time-lapsed it, and people seem to like it. I really like it anyway. I think it's cool. Such a shame to have to remove it if we want to build the industry out here, but it'd be nice to just save it as a sort of stamp, and then maybe in the future if I stream a campaign or play again, or if other people want to use it themselves, we can just have this nice large train station. I think that'd be kind of cool. So stamps are cool. In fact, let's just stamp it now. Why not? So I'll just stamp it from here. Stamp it like that. And we'll call this, again, just large train station. Cool. Wonder how it determines what the icon is, because you can change the icon. But, oh, I was saying in the last episode, oh, there's not many icons, but I guess you get to pick any of the icons for the items that are in the thing. That's a good idea. Yeah, good job. So train station, having that is a good icon. And then this one that we just did, this is a large building site, so we'll go with the crane or something. Perfect. Yeah, that's awesome. Appreciate that a lot. So this is the fairground attraction. I see. Perfect. Oh, this is good. This is good. All right. Right, close that. I don't know how to close it. There we go. All right, anyway, nice to play around with that. Let's just clear this out now, with no fear of losing all that progress. And just to keep it consistent with the other side, then I suppose we'll just turn them to face this way. And hopefully we can manage the workers for all that. So the chimney stacks are facing towards me. Someone asked, actually, on one of my streams recently, how do you do that? You press the full stop key or the comma key to rotate buildings. And with the quality of life improvement they added not that long ago, they rotate in place now. So you don't actually have to... Previously, like, because this is an irregular shape, let's say if it didn't have the space to turn sideways, like this one doesn't have the space to turn sideways, it just wouldn't do anything. But now it just knows, like, it'll just flip it on the position if it can't actually rotate. So that's pretty cool. I like that a lot. It's more just like a directional visual representation of which way it's going. But keeps the placement the same. Okay, alright, so that should be enough in terms of what we need to do. Yep, that's going to be 48. That's kind of weird, because I feel like... Well, anyway, so be it. 48 over 44. And that's going to increase quite largely the amount of furs and wool that we need. Now, wool I think we just have tons of. So, wool 136 over 114. Now, what would be probably useful to do is actually just check it here on this island itself. So this is the island of swords. Wool being consumed times 9. Oh, I thought I produced some here, no?
Nice day for it.
Oh, sorry, I looked at swords. I'm being silly. I meant to look at lusk. Yeah, so we make 59, we consume 48. So that's great. No wool needs to come into this place anyway. At least not right now. So that's these places done or fed with wool, but they still need to be fed with furs. So if we check fur production, I think I used to have it out in Cape Trelawney. So we'll just type fur. Yeah, so we're getting some from the Arctic. Some hunting cabins are going to be producing some as a byproduct, but they're all offline right now. Rush is supposed to be producing some, but they're offline, I think, because nothing's getting collected. Let's see what's doing it for the Arctic. Oh, they are just actual, okay, hunting cabins, so we can just actually go pick it up. Yeah, alright, let's get started then. Yeah, let's get started with the trade route, and then we'll build it elsewhere as well. So, trade route in Old World to Arctic. Oh, that's New World to Arctic, excuse me. Arctic to Old World. And this is going to be an export, so we'll call this a fur... Well, I'll start with this. Export fur. So I've been actually renaming my routes in between episodes to have it this kind of naming convention, starting with what it is. So this is called the Arctic to the Old World. So it's the Arctic's perspective. And from their perspective, they're exporting a good, and it's fur. So that's how I'm kind of... my logic with naming these things. And that certainly does help. Yep, sure. Scholarship. Perfect. And then you're going to go to King William Island. And you're just going to load up all your furs and then get the hell out of here. Okay, and you're going to Old World, and you're going to come down to Lusk. And drop it all off. Interestingly, they actually have 3,700 fur there right now. We're just actually not sending the fur coats up just yet. So this will be our first journey from the Arctic to the Old World. So something else I want to check is just... you know, how long does it kind of take us to make this stuff? By the way, I noticed that there's a massive shortfall in certain things, and that's because brass is very low, and I'll have to fix that as well. It's another small issue, a correction. So let's see. Furs, they make 23 per minute. 23 per minute. So if I was to break out the old calculator and try to just see how many ships do we need then. So it's 23 per minute, a ship can carry 300. So we go 300 divided by 23. That means... that gives us an answer of 13. Why do I need to do that now? I felt like I had a reason for doing that math, and I've just completely lost it. But, okay, so... is that 13? Oh, yeah. It's 13 minutes. I got it. 13 minutes to fill up a ship of 300, right? That's how long it would take to get 300 and have a ship come here. So the question is, does it take 13 minutes for a ship to make that journey? And we've just queued up a ship to do it, so I'll check back a little later and we'll see. And if not, then we'll add a second ship to it. And that's how we're going to judge the route. We can only judge it after it's done a run once or twice. Okay, so hopping back to the old world, let's go to Rush, where the problems just keep getting worse. And here we will set up a trade route from Rush to Lusk. And by the way, for those wondering, I fixed the issue with grapes from the previous episode. And yeah, we'll just get a regular ship to deliver that then. Let's just get a normal one with nothing on it. And it's just going to be an old world route, which we call deliveries. So this is going to be delivery fur. So from Rush to Lusk, and that should be fine. Accept. Alright, now let's actually start sending out the furs. So we're getting Lusk to swords. This would be the first place that we know it needs to come from. Not that. We want fur coats. Fur coats, there we go. Bonk, bonk. And this should just at least correct the Artisan tier, just to get one thing kind of done. And we'll just call this delivery fur coats. And just stick it in the old world. Alright, so there we go. We're making our first little delivery. So it's just a small thing, but once one ship is on all of these, then we can actually calculate the number that we need to, how many ships we'll need to have, should it matter. Anyway, so this should sort out a little bit, just help us a little bit with the fur coat thing. So 2 extra artisans per household. And then I'll need to check who else kind of wants these things. So if we look at a high-rise, and we look at lifestyle, they've got a need for raw furs, actually, which is kind of interesting. We'll figure that out when we get to it, though. Not just yet.
Everything is a nice, swift ride away. Hardly
These guys are okay as well. They do want fur coats, so it'll be both the tourists and the artisans that'll be happy with that. Now, we share workforce, so we want to also deliver it over to my island of Rush, where we've got some artisans. So I suppose that's the other thing then. So we'll just type fur coats again. Here we go. And we'll just tell it to deliver here also. And then come back. This almost certainly will need more than just one ship. But let's just have a quick look at the statistics and see, I guess, broadly speaking, Rush and swords. What's your consumption? 35 tons per minute. So again, if we want to do math, I mean, we can pretty much see that that's going to be roughly about 10 minutes, I think. But if we go 300 divided by 35, so our ships can carry 300, 35, that's 8.5 minutes, or 8.57. Which means if this ship is taking longer to do a full circle run of those 3 islands, in fact, I think we've actually even got them down here as well, don't we? We do. We've got artisans down here. They don't need fur coats though, so we're dodging a bullet on that one.
You ain't no good to us.
Yeah, so that'll be okay. Alright. I think that's okay then. We're looking globally at the fur coat situation, and I guess if we're just making it here, it's not going to Cape Trelawney, so that's another one we should just sort it out right now while we're thinking about it. So trade route again. We're going to start with Lusk, go to Cape Trelawney, the big island of Crown Farms, load it up with fur coats, please. And then send it, and it's going to be Cape to the Old World, and we'll just set a ship onto that one. If I could find a in-between ship, that'd be nice. Yeah, one of these. Alright, and we'll call this, well, it's from the Cape's perspective, so it's an import. Fur coats. Just hit accept. Now, I'm sure that there might be other people that need fur coats right now. We'll get to that when we get to them, you know. I'm just trying to plug some gaps with the the artisan workforce here. So just speed up time a little bit as well. Okay, so the next thing then. How can we fix workers? So workers seem to be out of bread and some other things. Bread and soap. So I guess I'll just have a look and see. Are we making soap anywhere? Apparently so. Crown Farms is making a lot of it. And then Malahide is a local island, I think, making a little bit. So Crown Farms are supposed to be making soap. They've got their tallow. They're full up. So this is going to be an export. So let's go create a trade route. And sorry, the very last thing is, are we looking good globally for soap? Yes, we are. Alright then, that should be an easy one to do as well. So we'll create a trade route from, this time from Crown Farms. And this will be Cape to the Old World. We'll deliver it to Lusk, and then Lusk can distribute it.
Left ruins behind.
Yep. And we'll just stick a reefer on there. And we'll call this export soap. Again, probably needs multiple shifts, I would assume. So let's get another one on there. I would assume so. Alright, let's leave it at that. And then we'll create another route, trade route, going from Lusk up to Swords and anywhere that has workers, which I think will be all these islands. So we'll just tell it to load up with soap, which will get delivered into here. And then send it around everywhere. And I don't know, maybe 2 ships on this one because of the time it will take. So we'll just call this delivery soap, and we'll stick it into, I'll check that now in just a sec, into Old World. Alright, let's hit accept on that. So that should solve 2 problems. At least people are kind of happy. Jewelry shortage, that's actually what we're going to be working on next. So don't you worry. Alright, so that should maybe plug some holes just for a little bit. So once the soap kind of give us 2 extra workers. And again, just to check this soap route, just globally, what are we consuming? 46, consuming 31. And we'll just set a reserve here in Cape Trelawney just to make sure we don't take too much away. Leave it at 1,000, please. Alright, great. So that's just the little in-between episode problems that I hope will overall solve, or at least help, because obviously when these numbers start to fall down, then our productivity falls down and we'll see other things fall down too. So ideally we'll just fix plug some holes in that before we actually work our way down the chains, the residential tiers, and eventually we will get to these and sort out every problem just the same we are doing here. But we're going top down first, which means that we should never have to, we'll never have a problem with the top as long as we work that way down, right? So once it's done, it's done, and as long as I don't build anything extra, that's it. That's the plan. So alright, so let's have a look at how we're doing. Spectacles, power obviously is fine. Champagne, chocolate, steam carriages, cigars is what we did in the last episode. Light bulbs and coffee. So in between episodes I fixed the light bulb problem. I don't know if people remember, but there was just, I was using a different type of glass blowing item and it was giving us like 15% productivity. I've now put the correct item in there, the upgraded version, giving us a productivity of 40%. I double checked that we're okay for filaments and glass. That seems totally fine. So we should be making more than enough light bulbs now, and that should never fall again. Just trying to make sure in case anyone's hanging onto the threads from previous episodes, I've got it all covered. So happiness tier, penny farthings. That was something we were kind of dealing with before, but I felt like today I had something written down for that. So let me just double check it. Oh yes. So penny farthings, I increased the amount of buildings here, but I think I forgot to check how much caoutchouc we'd be consuming. We actually have enough iron, I think, but caoutchouc is going to be a problem. So we'll have to jump back over to the New World and upgrade it. So if we look at the agricultural product of caoutchouc, we're consuming 72, producing 54. It's mostly be made in an island called Benefice, but also on the island of Manola. We do get a little bit of a byproduct coming off of Marbella from orchards. Oh no, from sugarcane plantations, as it says. But down here, Manola, the big island, we were building that farm to make it look really nice, right? So this is what we got, and I've cleaned this up in between episodes. Like I said, I just pushed the road up 2 tiles, and that made it so that we have 99 out of 96. Now, another issue we had here, if you remember, was that there is 20 tractor barns already coming off of this one fuel station. So 20 is the max you can have. So what I'd like to do is build more caoutchouc up this way. Just make use of all this space if we can. And other farms, of course. But that's going to require having another fuel station. So I was thinking maybe one here. So we'll stick that one down there. And we'll just add on some sort of road just for now. And then just connect that up. Okay. So that's what we got. So let's just tighten this up. Like so. And then we can cut this one. That just gives us the best space that we can get. Alright, so that'll give us more trucks. And as you can see, it actually goes quite far. So I'm hoping this one will sort of feed all the tractor barns up here. This one will feed everything it can up to this area. And then this will start to take over anything that's going to be in this area or anything further down. If it needs to move further up, we can always do that. No big deal. Alright, so it's just going to be caoutchouc. So let's just grab more of this and bring it around this way. And they're going to need a warehouse, of course. Maybe even just down here, we can have 1 or 2. Let's see how we get on with that. Alright. I'm not sure how many we're going to need to satiate the demands here. So this only goes up to 96, which is quite small. Let's just build it in a nice grid. And then we can cut this. 108 out of 96, wow. Alright, 98 out of 96. And just chop those 2 bits away. So, I don't know, maybe to make it look a bit nicer, we can do this. Rotate these around and have a little road that goes in. Dirt road. And then just something, again, pretty similar. It's a really messy way of doing that, actually, but we'll just rotate it back. Alright, so there you go, they're together. It's like the farms are sort of joined now. Alright, we'll just bring this over and feed all the way up. Cowchuck maybe not the best one to put in here, just considering you don't have many fields. Something with more modules would actually probably make sense in there. So maybe I'll change it a little bit in the future, but I think it's alright just to leave it for now. See, once we hit the requirements that we need for all these islands, then we can kind of move things around a little bit if we need to. But yeah, I'll stay the course. Let's just keep doing this. Do this one more time here. Does it fit? Oh, it doesn't actually. We can do that, and then maybe something like this. So ugly AF, but it works. But yeah, I think I'll have to look at. I'm sure we'll build farms for something else, and I'll probably use something that requires higher module space here, and use these down here, and that way maybe this will look a bit more complete. So let's just do this though. Just feed it all in. That's as many modules as I can do, even, is it? 196. You want to settle? Never settle, Benty. You want to settle on the island of Null. Okay. This used to be my little commuter island between sessions. It's right on the edge. I'll let her have it.
Good of you to save a secret garden just for me.
That's no problem. Okay, so hopefully these get their fuel. Someone should hopefully take care of it. And yeah, just be super lazy. Let's just grab this, rotate it around, and say see you later. How do you like them apples? In fact, let's just cut all these modules and just make them pretty simply. So is there there's no mine here. It looks like there would be, but I guess that might be if you lower the difficulty of the game, like you'll get resource deposits in different places, so that's probably why. Alright, just use it all for Cowchuck.
No fields, no work.
Alright, just something like that. A lot of Cowchuck, but that should do the trick. And we'll move this up, put another one there, upgrade this. And let's see how we're doing. 70 to 72. We're pretty close. We just need 2 tons more per minute. Now, these haven't activated yet, so I think we actually may have already done it. Probably more so than we even needed to. Now this is strange. It says it's... Oh, it's outside Hacienda range. Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. That's our Hacienda there. Oh, yeah. Okay, well that actually solves it for me, right? I can't have them up there if that's going to be the case. We need regular farms up there. Well, good job, Darren. Alright, we'll just try to grab them and just move them down then. This is Hacienda range down here. So I'm just going to be really temporary with that. Because they're going to obviously move. Are you in Hacienda range? The more your population grows, the more range you get. So in theory, yes. Alright. We're going to have to obviously change these things around a little bit in future. Okay, who doesn't have enough modules now? This is so messy. But it's just too boring to just be fiddling around with modules for like 20 minutes, which is what I would be doing, so... I'll do that in between episodes to save you from that. So this is connected to here. Yeah, what we could do is do something like this. Bring that out. There you go. And this similarly can go there. So are you okay? 80 out of 96. Let's just patch that up then. Good. I think we're better now. And they seem to have mostly gotten their fuel. Maybe one or two haven't yet. So let's see what we're dealing with. Yeah, we're at 82. Okay, so some of these can even go. I'm gonna get rid of just this one. That should be it. So leave it on triple speed, let these guys get their oil, and that should be plenty. So that should solve the problem of caoutchouc, which should solve the problem of penny farthings. And if I recall correctly, if we just have a look at it on the trade routes, it's New World to Old World. We've only got one oh no, we've got 2 ships doing it. That's a bit better. Yeah, so hopefully they just get nice and full up. Another ship is coming in right now. One is about to leave. Is it waiting till it fills, or is it just... that's how much it had? Now, the other thing is there's 580 here. That's why I'm a bit confused. Let's see. It's not waiting till it filled. Don't know how it did that then. This other one is just filled up now as well. Unfortunately, not nearly... Sorry, I'm confused. Oh, there must be a reserve. That must be the case.
Why so mean?
Just gonna have to say no for now, Benty. Yeah, there's a reserve. Okay, I was wondering why is there some in storage, but you're not picking it up. But that's okay. We figured it out. Right, so the last thing then to check is on caoutchouc. There's a New World delivery route as well. So we're also still picking it up from... Ah, we're just taking it from Benevis. We actually haven't been taking it out of Marbella, which is another place it can come from. The sugar plantations there. Weird. And that's the only 2 that are doing it. Okay, so that's caoutchouc delivery. You go here as well, please, and pick some more up if you can. Now, it's not filling up there. In fact, it just emptied out. So I'll just have to double check that I'm not crazy in thinking that. And you're waiting for goods at Benevis till you get full. Oh, right. Yeah, I'm okay with that route. Okay, good. So let me just double check that we are making some in that place. Yeah, so Marbella is making some as a byproduct. But I think it's getting consumed here. Maybe just straight away. Extra goods, caoutchouc, yeah. So let's just check this island itself then. Marbella, caoutchouc. Consumption is 8 tons per minute. Wow. Again, I wish there was something that told you what consumes things, because I can never remember anymore.
Keen to get started again.
Well, there you go. It's chewing gum. Chewing gum factories. Interesting. All right, then. So there'll be a difference here, then. So what we'll do, actually, is say... drop it at Marbella first, and then the rest at Manola. So we're not picking it up there. We're dropping it. So we're picking up at Benevis. We're waiting till we're full. No other... good is made in that island, so we're totally fine to wait for that good. Delivering it to Marbella, which does make some caoutchouc, but it consumes it and it needs more. And then deliver the rest to Manola. So that should be okay. Alright, if you say so. Alright, that does fix that, I think. And if we go back home now. Back to Lusk. So here we are. So hopefully, with a bit of time, we'll start to see more caoutchouc coming in. And again, we can start to check those numbers to see how we're doing in a moment. Now, that's going to create penny farthings, and penny farthing route is something we set up in the last episode, I think. Yeah, so it's just going straight to the investors here, and the engineers, of course, to swords. And it's just one ship, and the ship has never been full, so it doesn't really matter. Something else that's really nice that you can check, actually, is you can check the storage of an island, such as, let's go penny farthings. Click it, and then we'll select swords, the island that we're looking at. And then we can see how often it comes in. So last time it dropped 249. And it seems to be making the run every 6 minutes. So every 6 minutes, we're going from Lusk to swords, dropping stuff off. Now the bigger the amount you're carrying, the slower you go, and also the longer it takes to load. So that might be about a 10-minute route by the time all is said and done, when you get 300. Yeah, it's kind of interesting to see though, isn't it? I think so anyway. I never really used that screen, but it's good to see that kind of thing. Stock over time. Yeah, interesting how it's being consumed and used. Alright, but it should get better. We'll have to, it's going to be a knock-on effect. We'll just have to wait a little while. But I think one ship might be able to handle it then every 10 minutes. If we just, again, I'm buried in this screen today, and I'm just going to be, I guess. But, penny farthings. 36 tons per minute. So again, you know, roughly that 8-minute mark before you need a second ship. So we're cutting it very fine, I think. But I'll leave it. We've got other ships here, but I'll leave it. We'll just leave it one ship, throttle it. So the worker workforce. Have you got your soap yet anywhere?
Right, this, innit?
Did you just say in it? In it, bruv. We've got no workers on this island. But they do need soap as well, don't they?
Cheeks and merriment.
Yes, they do. Hey, they got their soap now. Feeling good. 505. Cool. Yeah, so I guess the problem with this route is it's going to wait until this island fills up completely before it delivers it over to this one. So what I'll probably just do really quickly is tell it to just kind of drop it at both places. Yeah, so Lusk is picking it up. So let's just say don't drop it there. Just give it a little extra to rush because it needs it a bit quicker. And that should be still fine. We're still dropping the majority in swords first and then just reserving 2 slots to drop it here. Okay, well we fixed artisans. Look at that. Up to 950. Pretty surprised they came up that much, but I guess it's because soap and fur coats have been delivered now. And that should also make our...
Poor host who can't provide for their guests.
Yeah, they're a little happier now. Alright, so we can move on, I think. Pretty much. So grapes are fixed, fur coats fixed. We had to look at penny farthings, that's kind of fixed. Caoutchouc should be fixed. Getting through a lot of things. So the next thing then is something that we left off in the last episode, and that's jewelry. So this is kind of exciting, but I realized we actually had the item here already. So I recruited the item from the Research Institute, or researched it. And don't worry about that. It turns out I already had the item here 3 times. So let's access our airport. And it is this gentleman here, I think. No, it's not. There we go. Let's see if I can find him by eye. There he is. So Francois Strindberg, Crown Jeweler. So this building produces goods without the input of pearls and also has an extra good in pocket watches. So we'll transfer him over. And straight away we're going to go to Cape Trelawney. So this is our farming / factory island. So Crown Farms, this district here of the farm, of the island I guess, and the factory, had a different item in here a while ago, trying to help out the pocket watches. I think it was changing gold bars to be something else, to be brass. Yeah, so we don't need that anymore. Those have been offline anyway. What we're going to do now is we have the item of Goldsmith Gilbert. So instead of gold, the building processes gold ore, and that's for jewelers. We've got 5 jewelers here. And we're going to plop your boy in, Francois Strindberg. Take him straight out of the thing. That's cool, actually, that you can take him straight out. It had a little airship icon next to him, I guess to indicate that's where he's going. Where come from. And now we're taking in straight up gold ore, and we don't need pearls. So this, we're making jewelry purely just from pearls. Or, sorry, from gold ore. Just gold ore, so we don't need... That's, I mean, it's pretty impressive. They know their stuff. Goldsmith Gilbert, he'll smelt it down for you. And Francois figures out a way to make it... You know, he's kind of... Well, what does it say? Where the crown goes, I follow. Was his gem of a quip to the Royal Council. I don't know how he's getting away with that, you know. He's somehow putting in fake pearls, basically, I like to think. But it works. So let's see how many what jewelry we're making now for everybody. Oh, we actually just saw it there. 29 over 27 already, globally. Boom, done. Perfect. And what about pocket watches? Oh my god, 26 over 9. And I don't think I make pocket watches anywhere that isn't just coming from a byproduct, from an item. I don't think we actually have a clockmakers. Nope. No active clockmakers. Feels good, man. Alright, so, feels optimal. And yeah, I reserved space here to do more, but I guess we don't need it. So let's get rid of these then. They're done. And we'll just paste this in, paste that in. And that's great. I mean, it's also able to affect Spectacle Factory, so I don't know if we could go down to the Spectacle Factory and add this in anywhere, but probably not, because I think the items I use for them are pretty maxed out as well. Yeah, kind of a shame. But oh well, that's just the way it's going to have to be. So we'll probably put some other stuff that doesn't require a trade union in here in the future. That's why stuff like the Framework Knitters is in there right now. But that's jewelry. So do we have any jewelry routes? If not, let's begin and set it all up. Yeah, so we'll take jewelry off these routes and just say forget it. Just forget it. And I don't know why I came up here. Oh, because this thing's called the Crown Jewel. Funny. Okay. So let's see then who requires jewelry in the entire world, and then we'll figure out where it needs to go. Got my pen out. We're going to go through every class really quickly. So we've obviously got, we know that it's going to be, I'll just write down for investors. So that's a guarantee. What about engineers? Lifestyle, maybe? You don't have any need for jewelry. Wow, look at you. Fancy, fancy, but you do want pocket watches. Okay, so it's just investors so far. We'll go a tier down. Lifestyle. Nope. I doubt workers and I doubt farmers, so... But you just never know. But, it doesn't seem likely. Okay, we'll hop back to the old world. We'll check the obscure ones, such as the tourists. I think... Oh my god. Oh, Benty's been doing this. I've noticed. She's flying by, dropping care packages, making me happier. We're getting that paid back. I mean, that's just such a metaphor for life. You put out some good vibes, you help people less fortunate than you. I like to think anyway. And then even if you're not expecting anything back in return, you should do it because it feels good. But hopefully you prop others up. A rising tide raises all boats, eh? Benty's now dropping happiness balloons on us.
Of virtuous leadership.
Lifestyle, you don't need anything there, but happiness, you need jewelry, right? You're fickle. Alright, tourists, so the next one then. Tour. And then we've got scholars.
Unexceptional.
They don't need jewelry. Nope. Okay, let's go to the New World. I feel like these guys might want it. Yes. Ooh, they also need light bulbs. And we make enough globally, so maybe we can give them a trade route right now. But let's do... I just wrote down jewelry. It's artistas. Artistas. So anywhere we've got artistas, tourists, or investors so far need jewelry. Doesn't matter if the other class... Well, it does kind of, but I doubt the others do, obviously. So yeah, that's fine. Happiness, that's fine. Alright, so Arctic, I doubt it. Let's go to Mbesa and just double check these guys.
Me to be the mother for the spring mass.
Right, they're fine as well. And then just the shepherds.
And colorful garments.
Great. Alright, so that's not bad at all. It's just investors, tourists, and artistas that require jewelry. So let's begin setting up our route. And just to double check everything, where do we primarily make these from? It's all coming from one place. Perfect. Love it. Okay, great. Very simple then. Trade route from... Not from Manola. We want to go to Cape Trelawney. Crown Farms. Deliver it to Lusk, please. So Crown Farms, grab our jewelry. Dump it into Lusk, and I can't remember the number, but I do feel like 2 ships would probably be wise. Let's stick it on this ship though. This already has like a jet engine thing that makes it go pretty quickly. And we'll call this Export. Jewelry. And then it's simply going to be a Cape to the Old World situation. Alright, we'll slow time back down now for a moment. So let me just check how much we're actually producing, just to get a feel for the number again. I really need to get in the habit of remembering that number. It's 29 per minute. I think one ship is okay then, especially one that we've just made a little bit faster. So that's going to be going to Lusk. Yeah, so down here. That's our hub depot. So one of them's it's gonna split here, and one of it's gonna go to the New World, and one's gonna go to Swords. So we'll say you're gonna go from there to here. All right, and just one ship can do this, I think. The Vernon, and we'll just call it Delivery Jewelry. Keep that in the Old World. Leave it as is. That's pretty much it. Okay, next up. We want it to go to the New World. And that'll be that then. It's only going to Artistas, and I've only got Artistas on one island, so it makes it easier as well. So that's going to be Lusk to the New World, to Manola. Pick up the jewelry. Any old... Actually, if we have a intermediate, that'd be good. Yep. And we'll just say that's a... Is it New World to Old World? Yep. That's an import. Excellent. Alright. Now, if I was being really trying to be super optimal, because we have like infinite influence now, it's totally fine, but if I was being really optimal, I think what I'd even do is do something like this, right? You'd look in your statistics,
In one of your factories.
you'd go down to jewelry, and you'd look at the target island.
Fire
So for
broke
instance, we're going to Manola, the big island, and it's consuming 4 per minute. So knowing that a ship, like how long the ship would take to go from one island to another, you can then work out like, do I need a full ship doing this? Probably not, right? You could probably get away with like 2 slots. That's 100 being delivered at a time. Because is it going to take like 40 minutes or whatever the amount of time would be? No. So yeah, you could get away with numbers like that. And that way you can load a ship with multiple goods. So you look for the goods that have like a low tier amount, pile them all onto one ship, and there away you go. We actually did that back in the day. I used to have ships going to swords, and they were all carrying the high-end investor items that came with the High Life DLC. So the funny thing was, like, we only needed like a half ton of like everything here. So one ship was able to carry like 6 different things, you know. But because we got infinite influence, I'm just stacking ships in a pretty linear fashion. Alright, so how's those workers coming along? Did they get their soap yet? They should have their soap by now.
You ain't no good to us.
Yep. And bread is a problem for them. Would be nice to figure that one out. That's jewelry done, by the way, isn't it? That's delivered everywhere. We delivered it to all of our investors, our tourists, and our artistas. Simple as. Oh, actually, the only group that we do have tourists here. But they don't actually have the requirement for it, so they're fine. They do need to rise up a bit, though, in terms of number. Once they get their bread, they'll probably unlock the need for a restaurant or something. That kind of thing could throw off some numbers when that happens, but I don't think so. Shouldn't be too bad. Alright. I think I'm pretty much done for everything I'd written down in my notepad, so we can just wing it and go through little problems. So it would be nice to solve that problem, yeah? The bread issue. So I think bread comes from Crown Farms again, so let's just have a look at bread. Crown Farms, and Malahide makes some of its own, interestingly. Probably enough of its own to not have to worry about anyone else. Yeah, it's producing 3/2, and it's full at the moment. It's not full, actually. It's out of... Okay, well, it's fine. Let's go back here. I feel like the game, again, has just gotten loud. Am I crazy, or every time I play this, I feel like I'm reducing the music? Okay, so if we're making bread here, we can definitely, you know, we have lots of grain, although I think actually not enough, surprisingly. We need more grain fields. But let's begin bread production. Bread, global. So we need 27, and we produce just under, well, technically 12, but I guess there's little problems here or there. So you have loads of flour, but not enough bread. Okay, well, let's just slam down as much bread as we need. We have a big worker workforce, so it shouldn't be a problem. So we got 4 factories improved by electricity. Are they being powered on? They are. How do I see? So there's a power plant right there. Good. So let's just copy 4 more. Alright, so a bunch more just to see if this can solve the issue. We added 8 more. So it's going to be 26 now here. 28 globally, 27. So that's pretty much the exact number we need then. But we'll obviously have to fix the base tier ingredients for this, such as flour. So flour needs to be at 30. Consumption is 47, at least globally. Let's just look on this island for now and just see what it's requiring. So Crown Farms is requiring 29, we produce 24. Okay, it only needs maybe a couple more then. So we've got 6 on the island. Oh, they're... Oh. Oh, right, yeah. They're all up here. They're improved by electricity as well. These would be nice to have down in our farmer village, actually, thinking about it. Could maybe find some space for them inside. Yeah, I might have to play around with that, but maybe move a couple houses out, a couple farmers out, plop these in instead, you know? Get them in there. Like near the water would be kind of cool. Yeah, let's do that. I'm going to say goodbye to this house. It's next to a warehouse. Okay. I know they're not being powered on. I'm not being very efficient with it, but I don't really mind. They look cool. And how many? Only 10 farmers work these things. If anything, it's like an ornament. Yeah, another one down by the water, like somewhere here, I think it'd be good. If I could destroy as little houses as possible, that'd be nice. Oh, and this is our old town. Oh, yeah. That could be... Oh no, it's still blocked. Damn it. It's the kind of thing where I'll probably need to look into it. So I'll just plop these down and then see where I can maybe place them later. So we'll just put 2 down right here. Maybe 4. That should be more than enough. We should sort it out globally, considering this has so much of that workforce ready. So actually, yeah, we'll just copy these. So that's going to be 46 flour per minute. So yeah, it's so tempting. It's like it's so tempting to power it on. Because you just double them. But it also, at the same time, only takes 10 workers. Do I need to double this output? Probably not. Alright. It's just, logistically, it's like, oh, they need another warehouse, and they take a bit more space, but not that big of a deal, I guess, in the grand scheme of things. So these are going to move, right? That's temporary for sure. Let's do that many. Let's try to meet that demand then. So globally, now we're at 50 tons per minute. We're consuming 47. Let's see if we can then give them, and let's just put down another one of these. Let's see if then we can give them the appropriate amount of grain. So grain-wise, on this island, we're at 64 under 111. Yikes. This is Crown Farms. We should have no problem making big grain fields. And again, they may move in the future, but let's get to planning them out. Now, I just realized something. Didn't I forget to sort out the fur? I think I did. Yeah, I did. I forgot. So the reason that we need to do... I can do that really quickly, though. Fur was going to be made down here. This is where we used to have it, and we have just free workforce here. But we could also put it on another island like this. This is the shared workforce, so, and it has the fur abundance. So maybe we'll just do that really quickly before I get too distracted, and then we'll get back to the farming. So again, requires fur fertility. I think we'll probably need to do some items in the future with this, but let's just try this. Move that down a bit down here. Okay, and let's just give them a warehouse. I'll just hook this up to the road. This one's really far, actually, so I don't know if it'll quite make it. Looks like it's okay. It's quite far, but it should be okay. So that's a bunch more fur. See if it's going to be enough. We'll have to wait for it to kind of grow. Actually, we shouldn't have to wait for it to grow. We can just do the planting our own trees. So just do mixed trees, whatever. Alright, so we're active. So let's see what we're doing now. It's 53 over 65. So we're still quite short. So how much is this producing? It's every 1 minute we get one. Okay, so very simple math would indicate to get the right amount, we need another 12 buildings. Another 12 of these. Or a trade union that can boost it. So maybe let's try to boost it. I know I can fit more in there. I just want to see for the moment what kind of items are required to do this. So let's go fur dealer. Oh yeah, actually I remember. I have this already set up. On this island, out here.
We're all full up.
Oh, that's resin. Oh yeah, I feel like oh no, it's out here. Yes. So, I mean, we could just copy that over and do it again. You could even stamp it and just throw it down if I want to be super lazy. I might actually do that. Just to get the production numbers up. So productivity 40%, productivity 40%, forest density is increased. So we just need to find these items again. So I'll just stamp that. And we'll call this super optimal fur. Super optimal fur. And then if we just hop over to this place. Nope, this place. Forget this. I've never thought about it, but why does it open up a menu? Can you have multiple things in here, in this stamp category? Because why, if it's only ever going to have one thing, why does it have to do that? Maybe, I don't know, because you can change the icon, is it? Or something? It just feels like it doesn't need this mini menu. It's almost like, yeah, you can have multiple things in here. Maybe you can, and I've just not done that. Like, can you drag and drop this? Nope. Okay, well, whatever. Alright, so super optimal fur. Boom. Give everyone enough space, and let's try to rotate it that way, maybe. Everything says 100%. There's no way they're all 100%. Really? Okay, well. Maybe we could place this somewhere else then. That makes a bit more sense. Not too close. I see. I worry about being a bit too close to the cliffs. Across from the river, that's kind of a nice area. Let's do about there. Looks like it could be moved just slightly over. Pretty good. Alright, cool. And then we're going to need a row of just like, what, warehouses, I guess. Okay, let's give them trees. They'll eventually be replaced with the trees that they need. And then we're going to have to equip those items. So let me see if I can source those items. So the first one was called Ursula. We might have it already. Ursula Green. It's unknown. It's not in storage. Oh, sorry. All islands. There we go. So there you go. You are in storage somewhere. Item source, item location, swords, and a grand trading post in swords. Perfect. So what we can do with that is just quickly access swords airport and then fly her down here, effectively. In you go. Alright, let's check for the next item then. So what was it? Teutonic Technical Secateurs. Okay. I don't know how to spell Teutonic. Secateurs.
This city is a magnet for genius.
So we have one equipped but none in storage. So that means that we'll just have to make one in the Institute.
We're on the brink of something. I can feel it.
Alright, add it to the queue. Pop it in the front. Bring it up. 17 minutes. Seems like a long time. And then the last one would be the Maimer of Mustelids. A particularly clean and efficient dispatcher of mink. I've kind of already forgot what's good. Mustelids. Yeah, weird. Let's see. Do we have another one in storage? All islands? We do have one in storage. Did I search all islands before, actually? I might not have. I'll check that in a second. So that is also... That's on Lusk. Unfortunately, we have no airport here because there's just simply no room.
I'm the giving kind.
We'll just bring someone over real quick and grab it. So while we're waiting for that, I'm just going to check that item again just to see did I have it already rather than researching it. TEU. Okay. All islands. In storage? We do have one in storage at Crown Farms already. Alright, I'll just let the other one get researched anyway, but yeah, we'll move it from Crown Farms. Perfect.
Only I'm reporting in.
There it is. Alright, we got it. What's this? All assembly lines. Okay. So you're going to go to Cape Trelawney, and you're going to go down to Colossus 2. Over here, we should now have that item delivered. That person delivered. Ursula is now here. Hey, there you can see it, actually. Nice. Yeah, it's quite a coincidence to have two of them already. Well, three of them already, just two of them actually close by. Alright, let's go. So these two will give us a pretty good indication of the numbers already, I think. So what are your problems? Not enough cultivation area. Yeah, well, for now. Once you guys get your items in there, you'll have more than enough. And then we'll see what we're kind of getting numbers-wise for fur. Anyway, so I guess while that's going in the background, let's continue with the farms. So The plan here is to move all of this out of the way and continue the farms over. What is this making? Well, we've got a lot of potatoes. I love me my potatoes. Alright, let's set up golden fields then. And you're gonna want your tractors and your fertilizer silo. These are, like I said before, I always use the word state farm. It's not a state farm, but it's similar to that idea. It's almost like government owned or government subsidized farms, which is why they're very big and blocky, and very uniform. And this should be the source of all of our grain, really. Should be no reason not to. This needs to move slightly. Alright. Let me just fill that all the way up to there. Bring this down and just get rid of this little bit sticking out.
You need a warehouse, you.
Damn it. Sorry. Ugh. Alright, good. So that's 2 done. And then they can have the road in the middle. Now they're going to need their own fuel barn thing, which we've got one there.
Busy people.
That one's, I think, already taken care of 20. So we'll need another one similar to that, but like over here in the future. But we can leave it for a while. I'll have to... I mean, the railway is here, actually. Oh, yeah. That's not too bad, then. Let's just copy one of these over. Do we have the workforce for it? It just takes workers. Oh, my God. Okay, great. Let's just leave it there, and then I can move it in the future if we need to. And... let's see. Where can we get our railway? There she goes. Alright. Alright, so a road connects straight up. So this is going to need to get fuel. I've noticed oil is fine on the island, but I've noticed power plants are going offline. I'm surprised because we do have like a double railway with lots of intersections for them to kind of figure things out. But I noticed that they're like traveling right next to each other all the time. Reserved 0. 88 out of 100 in storage. I guess that's okay.
Mind the odd jet of steam?
2 in storage, but the train's almost there. Okay. It'll probably be fine. I think it just changes a bit when you add more things to it. Probably gets a bit confused as it's sorting it back out. Right, let's just add in a thing right there. So they're going to need fuel, and then they should have enough fertilizer here, 3,400 to get the ball rolling. And then what we'll do is we'll just copy this, paste it over. Let's get rid of one of our field markers. Okay, and what do we have? 209 out of 216. $212 out of 216. Let's just do that, and then this guy can just finish his one off. 190. New achievement. Muck spreader. Yeah, let's take a look. DLC Muck Spreader, I think it was called. Oh yeah, I just realized these were all given to me at some point. Like it was a bug in the whatever in the back end where all these unlocked. But I guess that must be a new one that just got unlocked for me now. There's too many to really search through. There we go. It's at the bottom. Use fertilizer to boost the farm outside of the new world. Well, I'd obviously already done that. Build 5 of each new rigid airship. Build 5 of the new rigid airships. Empire of the Skies. Have 15 active trade routes using airships. Should be easy enough to do those ones. Yeah, I wonder, did it fix it? Or are these just new ones that were added that I didn't actually get yet? Host 50,000 artistas? No, I'm good. Pass. Alright, cool. That's a lot more grain. I don't know if it's enough, and we have to wait till we deliver other things like silos and stuff. So grain globally, 673 under 111, so still need a lot. Could bring it in through Docklands. We got so much space here. But I think we want to best use that. Alright, let's check down by Colossus 2. Our ship should have arrived by now.
Only reporting in.
So those items are in, and I don't yet see... There it is. It's almost here, actually. Oh, it is here. It's just on the other side. Cool. Right, the items are all here. Let's get them in. Alright, so you should have enough area now. And let's check first. We're up to 24 just on this island. 24 tons per minute. Just speed it up again. Just make sure everything is rolling. Cultivation area, 59%. Don't think it's a problem though, because I don't think they need much. This one says 100. 100. Maybe this one is just low, actually. I wonder what it says back in the old world for that. The one that's right in here. Oh yeah, that one does just seem to be low. I wonder why I threw it in there. Just because it didn't affect the others and it was just extra, probably. This one's at 218. It's close to a cliff edge.
You here, master?
So it's not perfectly optimal. Of course. But it's good enough. Man, it's gone super quiet. Alright, let's just check again. 24. Oh, it went super quiet and then that music played. Can we just change it? There we go. Please don't play again. Good. Alright. Alright, cool. So we're building up. We might need another some more depot space. And the furs, ultimately, will need to go to... Well, let's just check globally now. Did we sort that problem? Yes, we did. Hey, there you go. So 70 over 65 globally for fur. Excellent. So let's check fur traders. We've done pretty much everything we needed to with it, except actually pick it up from here. So Cape to the old world, we're importing fur coats, but we're not delivering the raw material of fur out of here. So it's going to go from Colossus. So Colossus 2 to the old world, straight to Lusk. I don't see why not. I was thinking, should it go to... Yeah, maybe just to be... It's a little weird to do this, but I'll actually go to Cape Trelawney Crown Farms first. And then we'll have a different route that takes it. So this is going to be for delivery, because they might have things that need fur there. We'll just call it, sorry, delivery fur. If it's not needed at all, I can maybe get rid of it in the future. So that's just going to stay in the Cape. It's a local thing. It's got a bigger depot space anyway in there, which is kind of nice. So that's a raw agricultural material. Fur. No? Okay. Oh, there it is. Got it. And just stick a ship on it. Any old ship, any regular ship would be good. Is there any ship that's here? The Endearment. Alright, there you go. Delivering fur. So this island is actually outputting two things right now. Sand and fur. So we can change this to fur. And that way, they'll just go to their respective things and load up.
Shine your blow lamp on this, would ya?
A delivery quest, and you'll give me one of these.
You've left the whole thing a run.
Alright, create another route. Final route for today is going to be Cape Trelawney to the old world. And it's going to be delivering the furs. So Crown Farm's going to load up, unload, and then we'll stick a reefer on this one. So it's an export. Fur. Regular fur. It's not fur coats. Cape to old world. Alright, man. I mean, there's so much stuff going on with all this. I'm just buried in the... What's it called? The statistics screen the whole time. But, I mean, the numbers are up. Things are looking a little bit better. Engineers are falling drastically. Well, we are using the Research Institute, actually. That could be probably why. It's quite so bad. It's about to be done anyway. Alright, 640. So yeah, let's just check. So workers are primarily over here and on some other islands. They don't have their bread yet. That was the thing that we're working on solving. Just to get the workers back up to make sure that none of our other things fall too low down. Well, let's just check ourselves. So, fully green on the front of the investors, fully green on the happiness. The lifestyle, we didn't even get to any of it, but furs can now be delivered here as well. And are they? So furs from the old world, a delivery of fur. And then this one I didn't name, but it's moving around, is it? So rush to Lusk 04. So it's picking up... Oh yeah, this route needs to go. It's a legacy route. Let's just get rid of that one. So to fix the investors, which is I guess the final thing, I did say we'd have our last route, but this is going to be the last one. So furs should now be in, yeah, 3,000 are in that island. So create a route, trade route, going from, well, I suppose actually we could double up. This is delivering fur into Lusk. But there's no reason it couldn't just, you know, on its way back, maybe drop some off there. So you're delivering in your fur and then just pick it back up. Is that a really silly way of doing it? I think so, actually. Let's do it this way. Pick it up, drop it at Lusk, or at Swords. When Swords gets full, then drop it down here. It's going to take a while, though. It's a lot of fur that we'd have to pile up. It's basically, we'd need 3,500 to go up there. Or I could just make a separate ship do this separately as a delivery thing. Maybe that's better. I'm trying to think. Oh, actually, I just realized. Yeah, this is fine. It'll be a really long time before it happens, but it's fine. I just realized though the good thing about me saying like I'm going to take the fur from here and instead of bringing it to the old world, just bring it straight up here, is that those investors actually require it as part of their lifestyle. So they're going to start getting that now. And they just have. So that's good. We've just fixed that, coincidentally. But that's kind of what I meant at the very beginning of the episode, which was you're going to inadvertently supply other people by doing these things. So things should come up pretty quickly.
Stores are inundated.
So yeah, so grain. So we have enough flour buildings. We just don't have enough grain, but we've got enough bread, and that'll be the last thing that has to be delivered around. If I just look really quickly again, globally, bread 28/27. It's mostly producing Crown Farms. You know what? This will be the last route. Let's deliver it. Trade route. We're going to go from Cape Trelawney Crown Farms to the Old World. We're going to go to Lusk. We're going to load up on bread. Which should be, there it is. Pretty high up item. This is going to be one of these. So this is going to be an export bread. Going from the Cape to the Old World. Save. Then we're going to go from the Old World in Lusk to, yeah, these guys need bread. These will need bread. Oh yeah, sorry. I think this is going to be just a bread delivery thing then. I don't know who else needs it, but I'm assuming everybody at some point. So let's just do bread. And unload it everywhere. Anybody local can do it. An idle ship that's here with no items. There we go. After delivering it to St. Arthurburg, which doesn't have anything on it. I thought that was Scary's. There it is. Alright, cool. And we'll just turn these two off just to make sure that Rush gets some quickly as well. Alright, that's us done. I don't know if I named that route properly or not. No, I didn't. So we'll call that one Old Worlds as a group. And that is just simply delivery bread. Oh my god. I don't know how many trade routes that was, but that should be a lot of things sorted given some time now. So the next thing we're going to look at in the next episode as we continue to work our way through these chains is going to be, I thought we'd actually get to it today, but on the lifestyle side of things, so we have fur now done. It's going to be, excuse me, bear fur, tapestries, perfumes, fans, and film reel. So these bottom three, that's also going to be a lot of stuff from the New World. So perfumes, fans, and film reels are all New World Manola items. Tapestry is going to be in Besa, and bear fur is going to be the Arctic. So we're going to be hopping around quite a bit. But I think it's relatively doable. We can change the fertilities. So bear fur is a bit of a struggle for me. But I noticed that obviously we can just come down somewhere like here. I had two ships ready to deploy things. And what we can do is just change the fertility to bear fur. Bear fur. I always struggle saying that. And then just set this up as a bear fur island. The only issue with that is it does take a fair amount of population. You know, it's 40 explorers. So it's not like, oh, you just set it up and leave it. We obviously then have to make sure that these guys get coal. And they get a few other things. So it's a bit of a pain. But it'll be worth it. Alright, so that's going to have to be it for this episode. Thank you very much for watching. And thanks for bearing with me while we get through all of these trade routes. I do plan on doing some cosmetics. Maybe I'll try to break up the next episode by doing some of the next one. And finally doing some stuff with the canal here. But yeah, I guess actually that might be a good idea. Alright, that'll be it for this episode. Thank you very much for watching. And I will see you in the next one. Everyone, thank you so much for watching the video. Consider liking it if you enjoyed it, subscribe for more, and if you want to support even further, consider becoming a channel member. Channel members get early access to my videos, ad-free, and also access to my Discord, where we've just set up a new Valheim and Satisfactory server for people to play on. Hopefully we can grow a community and add more games and perks in the future. Either way, I appreciate people just watching this far into the video. Thank you.